Hello, I'm Archie Luxury and welcome to the program. Today I want to look at some fascinating books that are in my luxury goods collection. And these are some special books that I've collected over the years. So let's go straight in and let's look at some fantastic. Let's have a look. We'll have a look firstly at some really interesting Patek books that I've acquired over the years. So let's just go and have a look. And the first book here is the Patek Star Calibre book. And this book here I acquired a couple of years ago. Unfortunately, it had some damage to it, which is very much it's a bit of a shame, but it's quite a fantastic book there, and it looks at the magnificent Star Calibre 2000 piece. So that's a really cool book. Unfortunately, it got some damage to it, which is a great shame. And one of the greatest Patek books of all time is actually the sales brochure. And I've got a few of these. When you actually do own a Patek, they will actually give you this beautiful book here, which is it goes through all the models in the range, and it's quite magnificent, and it covers all the models in the range, and they release this every year, and it's just a fantastic thing to have and behold. And it goes through all the different things like you'd expect: annual calendars, the grand complications. It's just such a fantastic book to have there, and this is a really great piece to have in anyone's collection. It even covers all the ladies models like the 24, and it goes in with really nice photos and detail on these pieces here. It's a really great book to have. Unfortunately, it's by invitation only, so it's sort of one of the joys. It goes through the movements. It's just a really cool. There we can see the 324 classic movement. It tells you where it uses that self-winding movement. So it's really quite a fantastic book to get there. And as I said, by invitation only. But that's probably the greatest sales brochure I think I've seen, and it's just a beautiful book to get. And just as a comparison, the standard sales brochure, well, it's what you'd call a lot thinner. So this is normally what you get if you go into a Patek retailer. They'll give you the standard, and it's not a bad catalogue, I must say. Look, it's a good catalogue, but they only give the serious catalogue to the serious collector like Archie. And there you go. It's still in beautiful colour, and it's got all the models that you'd expect there. And it's a great piece, but it's not as good as that big encyclopedia of information. So that's the standard sales brochure. The other thing Patek does as well is from time to time, they do have offers. When you get the Patek magazine, they'll ask you, would you like a booklet? This here's the booklet on the 30th anniversary of the Nautilus. This is actually a Japanese version, and it's a really great little booklet to get there. And they often release these booklets to their members who get the magazine. So if you're fortunate enough to get the magazine, which means you've got to own one of their watches, you can get these special offers for special releases. And I gotta say, it's a really cool club to belong to. They also had a fantastic booklet offer come out, which was on the 5960, which is one of my favourite all-time Pateks, and that is that's the beautiful Patek, which is a chronograph and an annual calendar. Again, this here is in the Japanese version, and it's just absolutely stunning. great pictures, great expose on this magnificent watch there. And this is open to owners who love the Patek Philippe. And probably one of the greatest books I've received from Patek, and I've already made a video on this, is the Minute Repeater book. So I'm not going to open it up, but that's just how's that as a gift? If you're a watch lover, to have this turn up from Patek Philippe free of charge. That's what I call service. Another great book on Patek Philippe is this hardcover book, which is called Patek Philippe Highlights. And this is one I bought on the internet, and it's a great book which highlights some of the great Patek Philippe models, and it looks at some of the vintage pieces and also the current lineup. It's quite a great guide because it gives you information about the caliber, the type of movement it's got, and an approximate price. So it's a really handy guide. Unfortunately, it's not a conclusive guide because it does skip some of the non-current superseded models, but it's certainly a great book to have there, and it wasn't terribly expensive from memory, and I think it's a really great book to have there. So that's one that is quite readily available on the internet. That's Patek Philippe Highlights. One of the things Patek has done too is they've also sent you a magazine which is only to Patek owners, and this was a special version from Watch Time, and it's quite a fascinating magazine. And where I love this is that it's got a lot of great articles here, but it's also got, this magazine actually came out, does it have a date on it? Actually, I've still got the original letter from Patek, which is autumn 2001. So that's a while ago. But the beautiful thing is that it's got a wonderful chart that pulls out that actually gives you a model chart. And the beautiful thing about this model chart is that it has all the wonderful Patek pieces in it, and it's a really great guide here. And what I find useful about this piece is that it also has models. If you like, I'm a second-hand buyer. This type of older magazine now is virtually priceless because it's got literature and information of the non-current models. So that's actually quite hard to obtain that information, and there you go, that's the fold out on it. So if you wanted information on a superseded model, say my 5107 I should say, and it's got information on it there. So these older magazines, anything issued by Patek like this, I think is going to be extremely valuable and collectible down the track. So they're a great source of information to have there. Patek also has quite a few other things that they issue, and I'll just show you a couple samples. Patek also has the mini brochures, and this one here is from 2000, and these are really great because a lot of these models, on superseded models, you can't get these type of information anymore. So anything like this, very collectible, and I'd pay big money for stuff like this. So here's a section on the 5107, and it's got the picture of it, and I happen to be wearing my 5107, and this is just such a great thing. It tells you about the caliber, the movement. So this form of information is certainly very valuable to someone who has a 5107. The other thing Patek has done is they also have the little booklet after Basel, which this here actually contains all the new models. So if you've got one of those new models, this is a great source of information, and I think they're going to become very collectible as time goes on. So there's a couple snippets of some of my Patek Philippe stuff. I'm Archie Luxury. I hope you've enjoyed this look at some of my Patek Philippe literature.